Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into something pretty amazing, the world of mompreneurs.
Yeah, it seems like everywhere you look these days, moms are launching businesses, breaking barriers, and just, well, totally rocking it.
Totally.
So we're going deep on this one. We've got articles, surveys, even some real-life mompreneur stories lined up. We really want to get into, like, what's behind this whole thing, what surprised us while we were digging through all this, and most importantly, what can we all learn from these entrepreneurial mamas?
Sounds good to me. Let's dive in.
Okay, so one of the first things that kind of blew my mind was this stat from InkFile. 40%, a full 40% of women-owned businesses are run by moms.
Wow, 40%, that's huge.
I know, right? I mean, 40%. So it got me thinking, like, is this a new thing? Have mom-run businesses always been this big, or are we seeing, like, a real shift happening?
It's really interesting because that number really does seem to show a big change. This isn't just, moms selling homemade goodies anymore, though, hey, we love those businesses too. But this is about moms building serious businesses in every industry you can imagine.
Right. It made me think about my own friends, too. My friend Sarah, she's an amazing graphic designer, and she started her own business after she had her second kid. And then there's Maria, who turned her, like, passion for eco-friendly living into this whole line of sustainable home goods. It's amazing. I bet you know some mompreneurs, too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Seems like everyone knows at least one these days.
Mm.
But it does make you wonder, why now? What's driving this huge increase in moms starting businesses?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Well, one big factor seems to be this need for more control, more flexibility. That SoFi survey we've got, it found that a crazy 62%, like more than half, of mompreneurs are actually juggling their businesses with another job.
Wait, really? So they're not just running a business, they're doing it while holding down another job at the same time. That's intense.
It is, right. It really speaks to wanting that financial independence, but also a schedule that, actually works with family life, which isn't always easy.
You're telling me.
And we can't forget about the pandemic. That InkFile article, it talks about how the pandemic really pushed a lot of moms to rethink things. Starting a business suddenly became this path to having more control, finding that ever-elusive work-life balance that everyone's always talking about.
It's like all these things collided, right? Like wanting more independence, needing that flexibility, and then this global event just kind of shakes everything up.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got these big picture trends, but let's get real for a sec. The Survey Crest article, they actually talked to some real-life mompreneurs, and it was so fascinating. Have you ever heard of Holly Rise Hannah?
The name sounds familiar, but...
She's the incredible woman behind the Work at Home Woman. It's this whole platform dedicated to helping moms find remote work that actually works for them, flexible hours, all that. And the best part is, she didn't start with some big business plan. She was just sharing her own story, her own struggles online, and it resonated with people.
That's so cool. So it really goes to show sometimes the best businesses come from solving a problem you actually faced yourself.
Yeah.
You're filling a gap exists.
Totally. And sometimes it's about taking something you're already awesome at as a mom and turning it into a business. Like Krista Woods, another mompreneur from the Survey Crest article, she created Glove Sticks. It's this genius odor eliminating system for, like, sports gear and stuff.
Okay, that's an invention I bet a lot of parents wish they'd thought of. What sparked that idea?
Get this. Her son's stinky sports equipment, she was like done with the smell taking over her house, so she invented a solution.
That's brilliant.
I know, right? It just makes you wonder what other everyday problems moms out there are like, I can solve that.
So true. And we can't forget about Cinnamon Bowser, who started Nail Taxi, this super convenient mobile nail salon.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Talk about convenience. New moms, busy professionals who doesn't live a little pampering that comes right to you.
Seriously, it's like she looked at those traditional salons and was like, nope, we can do this way better, and we're bringing it to you. I love it. But, it's not all sunshine and roses. Let's be real about the superpowers A&D, the real-life struggles that come with being a mompreneur. What are some of the unique skills moms bring to the table when it comes to running a business?
It's almost like being a mom is the ultimate training ground for entrepreneurship. It's so true. They've got this whole arsenal of skills they've developed just from, well, being moms.
Right, like it's in their DNA at this point.
Exactly. And that Survey Crest article, it actually broke it down into 5 key skills that moms rock at, and usually without even realizing it, that are like directly transferable to running a business.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with these mom-powered superpowers.
All right, superpower number 1. working under pressure. I mean, seriously, deadlines, multiple projects, demanding clients, that's just another Tuesday for a mom juggling school lunches, doctor's appointments, and, a toddler who's decided that the supermarket is the perfect place to have a complete meltdown.
Oh my gosh, if you can handle a tantrum in aisle 3, a board meeting is a walk in the park. What's next? Give me superpower number 2.
Negotiation. Moms are master negotiators. They negotiate with tiny humans who have very strong opinions about, well, everything. What to wear, what to eat, you name it, they've negotiated it.
And probably a million times a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when it comes to dealing with suppliers, investors, or even just getting your partner to take out the trash.
They've got this. Okay, I need to hear more. What's number 3?
Okay, number 3 is resourcefulness. Moms are the queens of making things happen with, like, nothing. Borrowing a cup of sugar, finding a babysitter last minute, figuring out how to fix a broken toy with a shoelace and a prayer.
They are the ultimate MacGyvers.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, superpowers number 4 and 5. Get ready for these: ego control and resilience.
Lay it on me.
So ego control. Honestly, being a mom doesn't leave much room for ego, right? You're constantly putting your kids first, celebrating their wins and being there for them when they're struggling.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that translates into being a more empathetic and supportive leader, which, let's be real, the business world needs a lot more of.
It's about the bigger picture, not just about you. Love it. Okay, last one, resilience.
Right. Moms are the queens of bouncing back. They deal with setbacks, curveballs, you name it, every single day. So they learn to adapt, to roll with the punches, and, more importantly, to get back up, dust themselves off, and try again.
And I probably teach their kids to do the same, which is amazing. But let's be real, even with all these superpowers, it's still really tough. That SoFi survey we talked about earlier, it highlighted some of the very real sacrifices mompreneurs often have to make.
Yeah, and it's important to acknowledge that, right? It's not always easy. Like, almost half of the moms they talked to admitted they were sacrificing sleep to make their businesses work. And it was almost the same number who said they felt like they were missing out on time with family and friends.
Oh, man. See, that's got to be one of the toughest parts, trying to find that balance between going after what you want and being there for the people you love. Did the survey, touch on how mompreneurs deal with that challenge?
A lot of them talked about setting boundaries, both for themselves and for their businesses, like designating specific work hours or making sure they schedule in family time, that kind of thing. It's about finding a way to fit their businesses into their lives, not the other way around.
Which is easier said than done, I imagine. There was one more stat from that survey that really stuck with me, and it's kind of a tough one. It said that 42% of mompreneurs felt judged by other people for trying to do both, be moms and entrepreneurs.
It's so true, and it's really sad. It's like society expects women to choose motherhood or career as if you can't possibly be amazing at both.
Right, like you can have it all, but not at the same time, which is crazy. Did the survey say what kind of judgments they were facing?
It was a mix of things,
Yeah.
which is even more frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Some felt judged by family or friends who didn't get why they wanted to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
Others felt like they were always being compared to other moms who were more traditional, And then, of course, there's the guilt, that feeling that they should be doing more for their kids, or that they're somehow failing as moms because they're going after their dreams. It's just...
It's like they're being pulled in every direction. It really makes you think, what would it take to change those expectations, to get to a place where we just celebrate mompreneurs no matter what?
That is the question, isn't it? But even with all of that, so many mompreneurs are driven by this desire to build something bigger than themselves, to create something they can pass on to their kids, to leave a legacy.
And the SoFi survey supports that, too. It said that 66% of mompreneurs said that building generational wealth was a big motivator for them.
Which makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the money. It's about building a future where their kids, especially their daughters, can thrive.
Mm-hmm.
It's about showing them that they can achieve anything they set their minds to.
It's about rewriting the rules, right? But, and this is a big one, those glass ceilings don't shatter themselves. We know it's not always easy, especially when it comes to getting funding. And that's a whole other hurdle, right? Even established businesses can struggle to get funding, but for women, especially moms who are starting out, it can feel almost impossible.
It's true, and it's something we really need to talk about more. That Forbes article we keep mentioning, it actually found that a crazy 66% of women entrepreneurs say they've had trouble getting funding.
66%, that's heartbreaking, but honestly, not that surprising. What are some of the biggest roadblocks for mompreneurs when it comes to funding?
Well, unconscious bias is still a huge problem. Investors are more likely to grill women on potential risks while they ask men about their vision for growth. It's like there's this assumption that moms, especially moms with young kids, aren't as capable or as dedicated to their businesses, which is so messed up.
Like they have to work twice as hard to prove themselves. So frustrating. Okay, so we've got bias, but what else is contributing to this funding gap?
Well, women are often left out of those traditional finance circles, venture capital, those good old boys networks. It's hard to even get your foot in the door. And then there's the whole issue of collateral. Women often have less access to personal assets or family money they can use to secure a loan. It's like the system is designed to hold them back.
So what can we do about it? Are there any funding options out there that are actually mompreneur friendly?
There are. And the article, Mompreneurs Succeed as Your Own Boss, actually talks about this. Like crowdfunding platforms specifically for women-led businesses are popping up everywhere. There are also a lot more grant programs and microloan options that are designed to support female entrepreneurs, which is awesome.
Okay, so there's hope. It's just about knowing where to look. And speaking of amazing women who beat the odds, we have to talk about Dr. Sharon Barnes. Her story, it's in her bio, is incredible. Aerospace engineer, then a lawyer, and now a total real estate mogul. This woman is unstoppable.
Wow, talk about a diverse resume. What was it about her story that really resonated with you?
Her resilience. She faced so many obstacles, like gender discrimination in male-dominated industries, financial struggles that almost made her give up. But she never did. She just kept learning, kept growing, and built this incredible business.
And she uses her platform to lift others up. The article mentions how she mentors other entrepreneurs, especially women and people of color. She's all about helping them navigate the ups and downs of starting a business.
I love that. She's proof that you can achieve anything you set your mind to, but also that success is so much sweeter when you share it and help others along the way. It's inspiring. But okay, we've talked about the why behind this whole mompreneur movement, the incredible strengths they have, the very real struggles they face with systemic barriers, and the amazing success stories. Now let's get practical. For anyone listening who's thinking about taking that leap, what advice do these incredible women have for getting started?
That's the big question, right? And that 11 Inspiring Mompreneurs article, it actually had some really great advice from women who've been there. One thing that came up a lot was like the importance of knowing your why. Sarah Blakely, the Spanx founder, she said, don't be intimidated by what you don't know. That can be your greatest strength and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else, which I love.
Yes, so good. It's about trusting your gut, your vision, even if you don't have it all figured out yet. What other advice stuck out to you?
Oh, tons. But another big one was don't wait for the perfect time to start. Just start. Delia LaChance, she founded West Wing, this global home and living brand, and she talked about how sometimes the best way to learn is by doing. Just dive in and figure it out as you go.
Yes, it's about progress, not perfection. Love it. Anything else?
One more thing, this is so important, especially for entrepreneurship, which can feel like a roller coaster. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Ella Woodward, the woman behind Deliciously Ella, said that. It's about having that long-term vision and never giving up on yourself or your idea, even when things get tough.
It's that whole brick by brick mentality, so important. Okay, so we've got advice from the trenches, but starting a business can be isolating, especially when you're also juggling, life with kids. Where can mompreneurs go for support?
Right. We've mentioned a few already, but organizations like the UPS Women Exporters Program are doing amazing things. They connect women entrepreneurs with the resources and mentorship they need to succeed.
Yes, and that awesome list of resources in the Mompreneurs Succeed as Your Own Boss article was pure gold. Online communities, organizations, practical tips, there's so much support out there.
So much. Find your tribe, tap into that network, and remember, you are not alone in this.
To all the incredible moms out there listening who are building their empires, chasing their dreams, and changing the world, one diaper change at a time, we see you.
We're so inspired by you. Keep going.
Keep growing. And never be afraid to ask for help. This whole conversation, this deep dive into the mompreneur world, it really makes you think, what if, as a society, we fully embraced and supported mothers and all the amazing things they do?
Imagine the incredible businesses that would be born if we just got out of the way and empowered women to go after their passions.
That's something to think about, right?
Right.
How can we challenge those old ways of thinking and create a world where moms can truly thrive, both personally and professionally? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep being awesome.